Hi friend, in this video we will be discussing about two commandlets. First is convert to CSV and the second is convert to HTML. So let us start the video. Here in this slide, first of all we will be discussing about commandlet called convert to CSV. So when we submit any object to this commandlet, it will return series of comma separated values. So if we have any object and we want to convert that object into comma separated values, then we can use this commandlet called convert to CSV. Convert to CSV only gives output in terms of properties, but if any method is available in the object, so that will not be exported using this commandlet. And this commandlet is very similar with the other commandlet called export CSV, but only one difference is that when we use export CSV, so it will do two things. First, it will convert the object into CSV format, and simultaneously it will write the converted CSV format to CSV file as well. But when we use convert to CSV, it will only convert the object into CSV format. So in case we want to write the converted CSV output to file, then again we can use one commandlet called out file after pipeline. Then we can store the output into any CSV file. Although convert to CSV has some default delimiter, that is comma, but still we have option to specify a different delimiter other than comma. We can also use current culture as delimiter while converting the object to CSV. And in case we submit more than one object to this commandlet convert to CSV, then it will order the string based on the properties of first object. And if any remaining objects are there and some of the properties are missing from the remaining objects, then those properties value will be set null in converted CSV. And if any object has more number of properties, then extra properties value will be skipped from the CSV. So this is how we can use convert to CSV commandlet for converting any object to CSV. Here we have syntax of commandlet convert to CSV. So you can see here that we have two set of parameters. So first of all we have to use the commandlet convert to CSV, and we have two options to use this commandlet. Either we can use this commandlet in pipeline, or straight away we can pass any object to this commandlet using parameter called input object. So after using parameter input object, we can give the value of object, and we can use other parameters to specify delimiter other than comma if any. We can also use culture parameter to fetch the delimiter from the culture and use as delimiter. And by default when we convert the object into CSV, so that output will have type information header. So if we want to exclude that header from the CSV output, then just we can use this parameter called no type information. So this is the syntax of convert to CSV, and this is how we can use. Now let's move to the other slide. Here we will discuss about commandlet called convert to HTML. So this commandlet is also similar with convert to CSV, but here instead of converting into comma separated value, it converts object into HTML, and that HTML can be displayed in any web browser. And how we can use this commandlet convert to HTML? So there are two ways. Either we can use this commandlet after pipeline, or we can use parameter called input object, and in input object we can pass the object value. And when we pass more than one object to this commandlet convert to HTML, then PowerShell will create table or list based on the properties of first object. So here we should remember header will be decided based on the properties of first object only. In case the remaining object do not have the specified properties, then property value for that object will remain empty. And in case any additional properties are there for remaining objects, then those property values will not be included in HTML file. So these are few points about convert to HTML, and here we will see syntax of convert to HTML commandlet. So like CSV only, this also has two set of parameters. So either we can use convert to HTML after pipeline, or we can straight away pass any object to this commandlet using input object parameter. So either we can use fragment, or we can use other parameters like head, title, body, and all other things like post content, pre content, and as will be similar. So if we want to specify what are all those properties to be displayed in the HTML, then we can use property, and if we want to use head tag, then we can use head, and if we want to use some title tag, then we can use title, and if we want to use body tag, then we can use here body. And if we want to print the output either in form of table or list, we can use as parameter. And if we have any external CSS, then we can pass the URI using CSS URI parameter. And if we want to add something after the table tag, then we can use post content, and if we want to add something before the table tag, then we can use pre content parameter. And here when we use fragment, then basically tags for head, title, and body will be skipped, and we will get only basic table tag. So this is the syntax we can follow when we use convert to HTML commandlet. Now we will try some examples on this, and we will see how convert to CSV and convert to HTML commandlets can be used. So starting with the first example, we have used parameter called no type information in this example. So here first of all I am getting process called DWM using get process commandlet, and after that I am selecting some properties called ID, name, handles, npm, pm, sin, ws, and at last I have used commandlet called convert to CSV. So whatever the output we will be getting using these commandlets, so that output will be converted to CSV format. I have used parameter called no type information, so it will avoid any type information header in the output. So if I execute this one, you can see here that we have got output which is comma separated. So in the first row you can see here we got the header, that is ID, name, handles, npm, pm, si, and ws, and all these are also comma separated. And in the second row we have got values for the properties, and the values are also separated by comma, here you can see. Now moving to the next example, here we have used parameter called use culture. So first of all, if we want to verify any culture, then this is the commandlet. We have to use commandlet get culture, and after that we have to use text info, and after that we have to use list separator. So if I execute this line, we will be getting that by default comma has been set as list separator in the culture. Moving further, I am getting event log, which is Windows PowerShell, and from that output I am selecting few properties called ID, label display name, log name, and time created. And out of the entire output I am just selecting only 4 rows. And once we get the output of 4 rows, again we are converting that output into CSV format, and we have used use culture parameter So it will be using by default delimiter in CSV. And again we have used parameter called no type information, so we will not be getting any type information header. So if I execute entire thing, then you can see here that we have got output which contains first row as ID, label display name, log name and time created, and all these are separated by comma here. In the remaining rows we are getting values for all these properties which contains ID, numbers, and after that we get label display name which is information, and after that we have got log name which is Windows PowerShell, and after that we have got time created. So these many values we got for time created. So this is how we can use parameter use culture. Now we will be moving to other example. In here we will be using parameter called delimiter. So by default convert to CSV has delimiter as comma, but if we want to make it user defined, then we can use parameter called delimiter and we can pass any value here. So the output will be separated by this value only. So first of all I will be getting date using get date, and I will be storing into any variable. And in next line again I have used convert to CSV, and here you can observe one thing. Instead of using convert to CSV after pipeline symbol, I have used parameter called input object. An input object I am passing the value of variable which is $date, which contains the date time value, and after that I have used parameter delimiter and I have passed the value, and again I have used no type information parameter. So if I execute this line, now let's see the output. So here again we have got header called display name, date time, date, day, day of the week, day of the year, hour, kind, milliseconds, minute, month, second, ticks, time of the day and year. And in the other row we have got display int as date time as 3 January 2021, and time is there, and after that we have got date which is this one, and after that day which is third, and day of the week Sunday. And you can observe one thing, that everything is separated by semicolon. So if we don't pass delimiter parameter, so by default it will be separated by comma. Since we wanted to separate it using semicolon, so that is the reason we have used parameter delimiter and we have passed semicolon here. And now we can see that how we can store these outputs into any file. So by default convert to CSV gives output on a screen only, but if we want to store output into any file, then again we have to use commandlet called out file. So whatever the output we will be getting in CSV format, so that output will be written to file called dirlist.csv. So if I execute this one, so we will be getting one file created in the current directory called dirlist.csv. So here that file is there, dirlist. So if I open this one, you can see here in the first row that is type info header, and after that we have heading of the CSV, that is property also. So we have full name and length. So in the full name we are getting the path of all the folders and files, and right side we are getting length. So you can observe here that whichever are folder for which length is not displayed, but if any file is there, then we have got the length. So this is how we can convert any output and we can store into any file. Now we will talk about other commandlet called convert to HTML. So in convert to HTML, first of all I have used parameter called input object. So when we use input object, we can straight away pass any variable or any executable commandlet. So if I convert this one, so output of get date will be converted into HTML format, and we will be getting the output on screen only. So let us execute this one and see. So here you can see in left side of the screen that we have got output in entire HTML format. So this output contains first of all declaration of doc type, and after that we have got HTML, and again we have got head and title, and under title it is saying HTML table, and again body is starting, and body we have table, and in the table we have table header and table data. So in table header we have got all the properties, and in table data we have got values for all those properties. So this is how we can convert any object into HTML format. Now let's discuss about the next example. Here I have used parameter called fragment. One more thing I have done here, that instead of using input object, I have used pipeline symbol. So first of all I am getting the output of commandlet get date, and after that I am piping the output of that commandlet to convert to HTML. So if I execute this one, then this time you will see little difference in the output from previous one. So you can observe here that we have not got other HTML tags like doc type, HTML, body, title and header. Straight away we have got only table, and whatever the header is there of the table and value for those headers, we have got that much only. So this is the difference when we use fragment parameter and not use fragment parameter. Now we will discuss about the third example. Here we will be writing the output to any file. In previous examples we have got output on a screen only, but here we will be writing the output to any file. So here first of all I am getting all the aliases list, and after getting the list I am converting that output into HTML format, and once it is getting converted to HTML I am writing that output to file called aliases.html. So let execute. So here after I have executed, if I see in this folder, so aliases.html file got created. So if I open this file, you can see here that it contains header in first row which is in bold and which is in normal font, that all we have data. So first row is property also, and all remaining rows are values for those properties. So this is how when we get the output, and after converting into HTML we store into any file. And in this example we had not used any property parameter, so whatever the output it given, so everything has been converted to HTML, and whatever things have been converted, everything has been written to file. But if I want to select particular properties only, then we can use parameter called property. That is what we are doing here in this example. Here first of all we are getting all the processes list using get process commandlet, and after that we are converting into HTML, and after converting we are selecting few properties only called name, path and company. We are also using parameter called title process name. So in the title tag same information will be written, and once we get the output, again we will be writing to file called proc.html. So I will execute this one and let's see. I have executed, and after I open this folder you can see one more HTML file got created called proc, and after opening that one you can see here that in first row we have header, that is property also, and here we have selected only 3 properties, so that is the reason in file also only 3 properties has been displayed, and all remaining rows are values for that properties. So this is how we can use property parameter, and we can select properties of our choice. And after that we will discuss about parameter called as. So in this example we are first getting the service list, and again we are converting that list to HTML format, and by default that HTML gives the output in tabular format, but if we want that output in list format, then we can use as parameter, and we can pass here value either table or list. Since by default it gives output in table, so that is the reason here no need to specify table. And again we are writing the output to file called services.html. So let's execute this one. So I have executed, and this time when I open this folder I will be seeing one new file called services.html. So here you can see we have new file called services.html. So if I open that one, this time you will be seeing we have got the output into list format. So when we get the output into list format, we don't have any header. We get all the property and its values, and the same property and values will be repeated again and again. So properties will be repeating, but its values will be changing for each row. So this is how we can get the output into list format. And now we have one last example, and here I have created one hash table called $HTML params. In this hash table I have specified values for title, body, pre-content and post-content. So if we have used title, so this message will be placed in title tags, and in body section this message will be printed, and before the content this message will be printed, and after the content this message will be printed. So first of all I will be executing this hash table, and here I am first of all getting all the services which is starting with A alphabet, and once we get all the services we are converting those services into HTML format, and with that we are passing this hash table. So whatever the key defined in this hash table, so those keys will become parameter, and the values for those keys will become parameter value here. And again we are converting that output into HTML, and we have given name as here, make it services1.html. So let's execute this one and we will see. So I have executed this one, and if I open this folder you will notice that one new file called services1.html got generated. So let's open this file, and in this one you will see first of all we have pre-content. So in pre-content we have generated by corporate IT. So if I see in this file also, you can see here that generated by corporate ID we have got, and after that we have post content. So if you see after the content we are getting here for details contact corporate ID, same message has been displayed after the content. And in body we have get date, so we have got date also in the body section, and in body only we have output also, that is convert to HTML output. So that is the reason we have getting output of get service in tabular format in body of HTML file. So here you can see name, required services, can pass and continue, can shut down, can stop, display name. So this is how we can use different parameters for commandlet called convert to HTML. Now let's move to other part of this topic. So this is how we have completed the topic, and to summarize this one, we have learned about convert to CSV commandlet and convert to HTML commandlet, and at last we tried some practical examples also. So I hope this was helpful to you, and that's all in today's video.